Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of the social media accounts. Also, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. These take a while to make. Now, let's see. I did finish the week with 21 wins and 3 losses for a win rate of 87.5%. So definitely a good week. Just trying to get down to the on the Twitter page to find out. There we go. No, wrong day. Okay, the 6th. Traded his room on the 6th. I said SPY calls over 406. Let's see, the 6 is right here. Had a big run on Friday, so kind of dropped a little bit on Sunday, then it kind of popped a little bit on the Monday morning pre-market. So the 406 level is basically the high of day of this candle. Well, not really, it's 405.60. I think I rounded up because it was pretty close to, yeah, it's 404. I don't know why I did that. I think I just rounded up, and I should have just rounded to 405.50, whatever. Maybe it was too close and I ended up rounding up. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking that day. But anyways, the first 10-minute candle, I was green. I was looking at calls for a higher day. I did take that. Let's see. Let me pull this up a little closer because it's, yeah, the RCT trend line is way down here. But anyways, sorry, my throat is very hoarse for some reason. Green candle, waited for the next higher day. I think I actually waited when it got over the 405.50 area. Or no, I did wait for this, for it to get higher day, and it came back down. I just stayed in it. I got the 40-70 calls at 680 when it broke over higher day, which is this candle right here. Then you can see it pull back, then it popped. So I had the 40-70 calls at 680, and then went to 950 in that pop right there. This has been happening so much over the last few weeks. You get the first 10-minute candle, and if it's green and you're looking for more continuation, it gets up just a little bit, just enough to get you in, and just slaps you in the face right afterwards. It's been doing that so much lately. I think over the last couple of weeks, most of my losses have been the first 20 minutes of the day because of that. And these plays used to be so good, where once they go, they just have some mad continuation. But lately, they've just been having fake outs and then taking off or reversing. So it's been very, very hard to trade ORB, which is opening range breakout or breakdown, because I love playing those. But lately, they've just been impossible. I mean, look at the wick. When it got right over the top of this wick, just enough to get you in, and just slapped it. And just, it's been happening so much, and nothing you can do. It's just, you gotta, what worked one day may not work the next, and you just got to make mental notes of what's working and what's not working, and stick to what's working and ignore what's not for the time being until it starts working again, or if it does ever work again. Sometimes it may not, but ORBs will end up working again, because it just, either you adapt to it faking out and taking the opposite way or whatever, but it does happen. So, but I was able to get out right here. A nice little pop right there. Then I took puts at 1124, which is right here. Try to be at higher day here, fake out, try to do it again. Got a little bit higher, then it faked out, and it came and broke below this 406.60 area. See the bottom of all these candles right here. When I got below that, that's where I took the puts. I took the 40-70 puts at $8. And they went from $8 to $12.40 in that little drop right there. It doesn't look like much, but you're talking 406.60 to 406. So you're talking like 60 cents. If you're at the money with if you're at the money with with the SPX, it's gonna go $2 or $3 on the smallest drop, and I had a nice little drop right there. So then I took calls at 12:02, which is probably right here. Yeah, right there, as you can see. Held VWAP 20 EMA when it got back over this 406.75 area because it was the high of this candle and this candle. That's where I took calls. I took the 40.75 calls at 690, and they went from 690 to 870 in that push right there. Then I switched to puts at I must have took this in the challenge. Let's see, for 323 right here. Right when it got below the 404.50 area, I took the 40.50 puts at 550, and they went from 550 to 610. Not much of a play right there. Yeah, just not much. It looked like it should have been more than that. Maybe I just got in down here a little more than. Not quite sure why I would have grabbed it down here and not up here. Not unless I was anticipating a an end of the day pop, because I did grab calls at 351, so I must have been leaning towards that at this particular time, that if it got over the 405.10 area, that's where I would take it, but it didn't. It dropped, so I probably got it closer down here, and that's why I went from 550 to 610 right there. Then I took calls at 351, which is right here. You can see it dropped, it got bought back up right when it got back up here, the 40. I think I got it early. I think I got it right in here, literally right up here, the 404.80 area. I got the 40.50 calls at $3, and it ended up being a loss. Now, the first 30 minutes and the last 30 minutes are the riskiest right now, as of right now. Yeah, maybe you'll get one or two good moves on an end of the day play, but it's just they've been chopping it into the end of the day and just eating up the theta and eating the premium. So lately it's just not been worth it. So if you don't want the risk, avoid the first 30 minutes and the last 30 minutes. That's just how it's been the last few weeks. So, and let's see, the 7th. So what did I end up doing on Monday? 4 wins, 1 loss. 4 wins, 1 loss on Tuesday. Let's see, Tuesday I said SPY puts under 4,350, which is down here. I rounded down, thinking, okay, maybe we're going to drop, but we had a red candle here, but when it broke over the higher day, I decided to take calls. I took the chance on calls, and this is exactly what happened. It got in just enough for higher day, and being a red candle, I probably shouldn't have taken calls, but sometimes you get a nice red candle and it just ends up taking off. But this time it ended up being a fake out. So I took calls. I took the 40.75 calls at 750. I've been playing the morning opening candles, well, the first 30 minutes or so, very, very small because of the fake outs, especially after the first 10-minute candle is formed. That's when you see the fake out. The second 10-minute candle, I have no problem playing. Yeah, I got it at 951, so it was not even this candle I got. It was right here. It was this candle. I think I waited out this 10-minute candle, and I waited for this one. And that's where I got in. I wasn't here. It was this candle right here. So yeah, I got the 40.75 calls, 750. Didn't have that many. I think this is a position where Powell was talking. Where was he talking? I don't remember. Oh, he was testifying. I got calls first. I got I think 5 of them, I think. Then right before he testified, I switched over to 40/20 puts at $7. I got 20 of them. So then the market dumped instantly. So I'm glad that I grabbed puts, and I kept thinking about it, in the morning, that when you have the FOMC, they can pretty much say whatever they want. The market can do whatever they want. But when they're testifying in front of the Senate and in front of Congress, that Congress is going to grill them on inflation and rates, and usually it's not a good thing for Powell because they're going to basically jump on him. So I would think that anything that comes out of his mouth is going to be not good. So I took the chance on going in heavier on put side than call. So I ended up taking it as a straddle, but initially I didn't take it. I didn't call it as one. I mean, that's a loss. I could have said I took a straddle and took it, and it was a one, but I didn't take it that way. So I'm not going to claim it that way. But yeah, the calls didn't work out, but the puts did. So I'm glad I grabbed puts, a lot more puts, because that ended up paying out really, really well. The 40-20 puts at $7, they went to $22.60, and that was a 200% plus move on that, just in the first, that 10-minute move right there. So that was ended up being a real good play. Then I ended up grabbing puts again at 1046, which is right up here. No, right here. Came up the VWAP. I probably should have bought it up here because basically it's been short the pops lately. Every time it pops, I've been just shorting it. So I popped here and I waited down here. Actually, I don't think I started thinking short the pops until over here. But this pop failed. I grabbed puts right here. I grabbed the 4,000 puts at 640. And they went from 640 to 930. I mean 990 right there. So I got a nice little play out of that. Then I grabbed puts again at 1114, which is right here. It dropped and it bounced back up. I grabbed puts again. 4,000 puts at 840, and they went from 840 to 980 here. So basically every green candle that popped, I would reshort it. That took them again at 1222, which is right here. No, 1222, right here, right at VWAP, 20 EMA. Knowing me, I probably got it right here, right in here somewhere. But anyways, short the pops, 4015. No, I didn't have calls. I didn't have puts. I had calls. Oh, yeah, I remember this play. Yeah, this does make sense why I grabbed it here. For some reason, I thought I had puts here. So, yeah, I had calls here, puts here, and puts here. Then when it broke over, you can see it dropped, made new low day, it popped up, dropped, made new low day, and it popped back up. So once it got over the 400, you can even see 401 area, that's where I did grab calls. It was calls I grabbed here, not puts. It was the 40-15 calls I got at 860, and they went from 860 to 1340. And I do remember saying that if it does get over 401, it's going to push the VWAP or through it at least, and it did push through it, but it got quickly rejected. So yeah, that ended up working out pretty good calls right there. For some reason, I thought I had puts here. I probably had puts in the challenge account. I don't cover the challenge and IRA accounts and the recaps. It just takes too much time, and I don't want to do that. So, and I explain everything so well in the premium channel anyway. So yeah. But yeah, got calls right here. That ended up being a good play. Kind of risky, but especially with what's been going on. And you know that speaking of that, I was just not expecting this kind of a day on Wednesday. This is Tuesday, right? 7th is Tuesday. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Tuesday I finished 4 wins, 1 losses. First, I could have probably avoided this, but not quite sure what I was thinking there. Why I grabbed calls. I think what I was thinking was that I was going to get a nice little pop before Powell, because usually what happens is that before Powell speaks, the market will start rallying a little bit, at least 5 or 10 minutes before he's speaking, or he does his little whatever conference or whatever he's doing, or testifying. You usually get a 10-minute pop, and I think that's what I was thinking at this particular time, that I'd grab calls. It broke over a higher day. It's over a higher day. We're going to get a 10-minute run up, and when we didn't get the run up and it came back down, I said, okay, I'm going to grab puts, and that's when I decided to end up having more of a strangle than anything. And glad I did that, because that ended up paying for my calls and then some. So it ended up working out really well. So yeah, sometimes if you've been watching the FOMC or anything that Powell likes to speak, or right before he's speaking, the market likes to rally a little bit. ahead of time. So I don't know why, it just does. So so that's what I was thinking. Now on the 8th pre-market, I said puts under 390, 397.50, which is right here. I rounded down to the half dollar. First 10-minute candle right there, red, and I grab puts right here, right underneath the lower day. I got the 39.70 puts at 720. Then this is what I'm talking about. Red candle gets you in on the put side, then it pops, then it ended up actually dropping. So yeah, it ended up dropping. So just got you in just enough right here to fake out and take out stops, and they actually had the drop right there. So I got them at 720, and they dropped and they popped. I mean, yeah, they dropped, popped, and dropped again. And they went from 720 to 1160. I stayed with it. That's when I had the mentality that Powell's testifying, it's going to dump. One word, it's going to dump. And it did. So I was able to get out. So they went from 720 to 1160. Then it retraced up. And this is one of the things I used to love to trade during the COVID crash, is you'd get these nasty red candles. Then they would retrace halfway up. And that's where I would reload on the puts. And this is what I did. I reloaded on the puts. I got the 39.70 puts at 680 this time. Got a better entry. And it dropped right here. No, I didn't. Yeah. Okay, this is what I did. I grabbed, wait a minute here, 1003. I reloaded right here. I bought them at 6. Okay, I'm going to have to go to a small time frame. I'm kind of confused by my timestamps, what's going on here. Okay, we get to the... No, that's the wrong day. 1003 is right here. Okay, I added right here. Okay, so this is what I did. I sold the first puts in here, and when it popped up here, I reloaded when it came back down here. And it went against me. It came back down. I don't think they went green right here. If they did, they didn't go green very long. Then I ended up averaging down at 1138, which is right here. Right here. Right in here somewhere. Okay, let's look at the 10-minute, because I don't look at the 3-minute chart. So sold in here. I ended up reloading right here. Went against me, and it didn't add there. I probably should have added over a higher day. I just wasn't sure, so I just held it and waited for the opportunity, and I ended up reloading at 1038, which is right here. And I got it at 680. I added more at $4, making my new average of 445. And they went from 445 to 610 right there. I probably should have added over a higher day, but sometimes when Powell speaks, the market just was crazy. I should have definitely added when it popped right here. I would have done better if I grabbed it right there and added right there. But it is what it is. Then I switched to calls. So this is the day that was kind of confusing, because I had to short the pops mentality down, and when it was doing this, it was kind of like making me scratch my head if I was on the right side of it. So I didn't grab that. I think I grabbed that in the challenge, but I grabbed calls at 154, which is right here. Drop down. It's wicking. And then when it got over the 397 area, that's why I grabbed the 39.75 calls at 590, and they went from 590 to 1080. Then it dropped back down. Then I waited for it to get over the 397.80 area, and that's why I grabbed the calls. I grabbed the 39.75 calls again at 640, and they went from 640 to $20 right there. That ended up being an end of the day, the only end of the day massive move we've had in weeks, it seems like. I mean, we probably had one other one, but I'm not like this. We haven't had one like this in a long time. And these are the moves I really, really like, because that's where you can literally turn pennies into dollars. But trying to nail them is like next to impossible, because the market may look like it's going to take off and just chops and just ends up doing nothing and just takes all the money. So yeah, definitely did not trade the best on Wednesday, but I didn't take any losses. I mean, I could have stopped out here, but I just kept thinking, okay, as long as Powell's speaking and testifying, one word and it's going to dump. And that was basically my mentality, that as long as he's testifying, one bad word, the market's going to tank, and I'd rather be in puts than calls. And even though it just dumped, it got bought back up quickly. It dumped. It's almost like Powell turned on the algos that anytime it dumped, it got bought. So it was kind of crazy. So it is what it is. Basically besides the this reload right here that didn't pay off. I don't know why I didn't sell it down here. Maybe I thought it was going to dump more. I don't know. Greed will kill you, so just remember that. Take the dollar or two, or at least reduce a lot of the risks and maybe save a runner. Me, I like to hit it and quit it, so I like moving on. Now Thursday, was that Thursday the 9th? Yeah, it was Thursday. Traded his room, SPY calls over 450 right here. That's just running out. 450 was rate. I rounded up. This is the one I rounded up for because it was right here. It was right at higher day when I posted the traded air in the traded airs room, and I didn't want to call 434, so I rounded up for 405, 450 cents. I could have just said 401, but anyways. I didn't take the first 10-minute candle. I've been waiting out the second 10-minute candle, I should say, because what's been happening all week long. Look right here. A red candle, and it got you in on the second 10-minute candle right here. Got you in. Right here, got you in and dumped, but it actually popped and worked out. Same thing here, it drops. It didn't really quite get you in, but this is what it's been doing. So Thursday, I decided to wait out the second 10-minute candle, and I probably shouldn't have. I could have gone green and got a calls move, but it is what it is. So I grabbed puts at 10:08, which is right here. Green candles. Put in a nice red candle here and put in another lower red candle right there. So as soon as I got below 450 cents, I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 4,000 puts at 690, and they went from 690 to $12 right there. And then it popped back up. Let's see, 1055 I grabbed it, which is right here. Popped back up, didn't make new higher day, made a lower high, came back down, got pushed through VWAP. This is where I grabbed the 4,005 puts at 780. And they went from 780 to 1430 right there. A nice move right there. Had some good plays. 690 to 12 and 780 to 1430. That's two good plays right there. All it takes is one good play like that to make a week or make a day. So then I took puts at, 110. Yeah, 110, which is right here. I didn't take it. I probably took them I think I was taking them in the challenge in the IRA play right here. But yeah, I took right here. You had the red candles right here, a couple green dojis. Pre-market low right here. Breaks below this 397.70 area. It's going to dump. And I grabbed puts right there, the 39.80 puts at 650. And it dumped. And they end up going from 650 to 23. So another 200% move. Nice play. Then I tried to catch the knife. Probably shouldn't have done that. But grab calls at 125, which is right here. I grabbed it right at the RCT trend line. I remember grabbing it right here at the line, at the RCT trend line, thinking we were going to get a bounce, and it flushed right through it. So I grabbed that 39.70 calls at 680. It flushed through it. I added more at 125, which is right here. Right in here, and it started to bounce up a little bit, and I ended up taking it. I had 680, added more at 310, making my new average 4. and that didn't quite go green, and it dropped more, and I stopped out at $2. So took a loss right there. I definitely should have not have tried to knife catch that, especially with Powell. And I don't know if the bank was having issues yet. I know that the the bank was starting to the Silicon Valley Bank was just starting to drop. I don't think that it came into effect until Friday. I know I could be wrong. I have trouble remembering what's when events happen because I have so much going on. But I tried to catch it there. I shouldn't have. I should have waited. That's a loss I could have avoided. There's a couple losses, at least two losses I took this week. I could have avoided. So I've been trying to minimize my losses and mistakes, and trying to adapt to the new conditions and how it's changing. But sometimes I just get overzealous and just end up jumping in when I shouldn't. So I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited for at least a kind of a bottom to form, like like that a little bit. But I probably, if I grabbed calls right there, I probably would have got stopped out. But it is what it is. So I grabbed calls that, in fact, I did grab these calls right here. Yeah, I grabbed calls right here. See that? But I didn't get stopped out. I grabbed, let's see, the 217. Yeah, I grabbed it right here. Get the red and the green, made new lower day, popped back up. When it got over the 395.20 area, I did grab calls, but I got in and out. I grabbed 39.55 calls at 7:30, and they went from 7:30 to 8:20. So that was kind of a risky move. I'm glad I did get out and got a small one out of that. Then it just dumped, but I shouldn't have taken that either. I mean, I see why I did take it, but with all the things that's going on with the banks, I definitely should not have. I should have just kept shorting the pops. That little pop right there, I could have just bought puts at the 394.50 or lower day 394.30 and just bought puts right there. I mean, I could have taken that a couple of different ways, but sometimes I look at it like, okay, we're at 401.50 and we're down to 394. I mean, we're at the $8, $7 run already. So, and we haven't had really much of a bounce. Sometimes you get at least a bounce, but if there's panic, you can see 10, 15, even $20. COVID, we saw $20 panic days. We could definitely see that as more banking ends up collapsing this next week. So now on to Friday. Friday was a good day. Let's see. I traded Israel, SPY calls over 393. For some reason, when this popped up and then it started pulling back, I was like, okay, maybe we come back up, and it actually does break this 393 level, because this is where it wicked, rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. It came back down, and they could look at it from the point of view that when it opens, people will pile into puts, and then it just pops. But it hit a red candle. It didn't even come near that, so it had a nice red candle right there. I decided to take the continuation to the downside because of the banks, because it was escalating more. This was that candle was what for what was happening Friday morning? The unemployment rate. Yeah, the unemployment rate and non-farm unemployment change. So that's what that was. So so yeah, that was get back to my screen. So that's why it popped right there, and that's why I was thinking, okay, I think I made the I made the call right in here. I think that's why I had the 393 level dropped. Then when it dropped more and it didn't pop on the first green candle, I mean the first candle of the day wasn't green and didn't pop, and that's when I started looking at the put side. Had a nice solid red candle, grabbed continuation, 38.70 puts at 750, and they went from 750 to $19 right there. So that ended up being a good play. Then it popped a little bit. Then I grabbed calls puts at 955. So when it bounced, I grabbed puts, shorting the pops. I got them at 955, so I got them right here. I got the 38.60 puts at 970, and then it popped more, so I was able to average down. I added more at $5, make my new average 735. Then it dropped, so they went from 735 to 1090 right there. Basically, short the pops. I just got it. I just got too eager right here, and popped more. So when it popped more to me, I just looked at it from the point of view, a good ad. And so it did ended up being a good play. So 735 to 1090. So it was almost a $3 play, over a $3 play. Then it popped. Let's see, at 1250. I didn't grab it here. I grabbed it at 1252, which is right. I didn't play right here. I don't know why I didn't play right there. I think I was not expecting this kind of a move. And let's see. I was not expecting this kind of a move at all. That's probably why I stayed to the side. But I took puts. I know I took puts in my my challenge play. So let's see. It took him at what, 1252, which is right here. You get this big couple of red candles, right? A few red candles right here. It popped back up to VWAP. Then it came back down below the 3870. I took the 3875 puts at 640, and they went from 640 to 1060 right there. So I got a nice little play right there, and it bounced a little bit. Then I grabbed puts again at 238. Why did I grab it at 238? 238. Right here. When it popped back up, I grabbed the 3870 puts right here. Right when I got to the 387 level. Okay, you can see the wick right here. I got a little bit of a pullback, so I had the 3870 puts at 870, and then went from 870 to 1240, and this is where I got it here. Then on the next candle, it dropped a little bit, so that's where you were able to get the $3 plus on that play right there. So ended up, you get to take the money. I mean, you take in $3. I mean, you got to take that. And then it popped more. Then I took puts at 320, which is right here. No, right here. I took him right here for some reason. I should have taken it probably right here, but right underneath this 386, or even say 387 right here, I should have taken it right underneath that wick, and right here I should have taken it, but I didn't. I took it in here somewhere. 3860 puts at 750, and they went from 750 to 1140, and that drop right there. So that ended up being a good little play right there. So not a bad week. Definitely a tough week of trading with a lot of drama going on, a lot of things going on, and Powell testifying and stuff like that. We could see more of the same action next week or this week coming up for get the emergency Fed meeting. We got more banks having problems, and Yellen's not wanting to bail them out, as is the last thing I've seen. And who knows, we could end up seeing some massive things happening this week. So hopefully it will be a short the pop week, because I actually like those. And we'll just have to take it day by day and news by news, and that's just all you can do. This is just going to be very volatile this next week, this week coming up, and you're just going to take it and trade what you have in front of you. So that's going to do it for the recap, and thanks for watching.